The Baha'i Faith, a relatively young world religion, emerged in the mid-19th century in Persia, modern-day Iran, amidst a period of profound social and spiritual change. The faith was founded by Baha'u'llah, who Baha'is believe to be the latest in a line of divine messengers that includes Abraham, Moses, Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, Jesus, and Muhammad. Central to Baha'i belief is the principle of progressive revelation, the idea that these messengers each came with a message suitable to the needs and conditions of the times in which they appeared, and that humanity's spiritual education continues through the ages with new guidance as societies evolve. The origins of the Baha'i Faith can be traced back to 1844, when a young merchant in Shiraz, Persia, who would become known as the Bab, meaning the gate, declared that he was the bearer of a message destined to transform the spiritual life of humanity. The Bab taught that he was a forerunner to a greater messenger of God, who would soon appear to fulfill the promises of all previous religions. His teachings spread quickly, gaining thousands of followers, and challenged the traditional authority of both the Persian clerical establishment and the social order. This period of religious revivalism was also occurring worldwide, paralleling movements in the West such as the Millerite movement in the United States, which anticipated the return of Christ, and reformist movements within Islam and Hinduism. In 1863, Baha'u'llah, a follower of the Bab who had been exiled and imprisoned for his beliefs, declared himself to be the messenger foretold by the Bab. This declaration marked the birth of the Baha'i Faith as a distinct religion. Baha'u'llah claimed that he was the fulfillment of prophecies found in all the world's major religions: the return of Christ in Christianity, the Maitreya Buddha in Buddhism, the Shah Bahram in Zoroastrianism, and the coming of the Mahdi in Islam. Baha'u'llah's teachings called for the unity of humankind, the elimination of prejudice, and the establishment of universal peace. His writings, which comprise over 100 volumes, form the core of Baha'i scripture and outline principles for personal and collective conduct aimed at fostering unity and justice in society. During the 19th century, the world was experiencing immense social, scientific, and political upheaval. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, transforming economies and societies at a pace never before seen. Philosophies such as nationalism and socialism were reshaping political landscapes. It was also a period marked by scientific advancements that challenged traditional religious beliefs and explanations of the natural world. Amidst this transformation, Baha'u'llah's message appeared as a call to humanity to recognize its essential oneness and to work together to create a just, peaceful world. His teachings emphasized the harmony of science and religion, asserting that true religion cannot contradict scientific understanding. This alignment between faith and reason set the Baha'i Faith apart from many other religious movements of the time. One of the most compelling aspects of the Baha'i Faith is how it fulfills specific prophecies from older religious traditions. For example, in Christianity, there are numerous references to the return of Christ and the coming of a new heaven and a new earth, symbols of a renewed spiritual civilization. Baha'is believe that these prophecies were not meant to be taken literally but symbolically, and that Baha'u'llah fulfills the essence of these expectations. In Buddhism, there is a prophecy of the Maitreya, a future Buddha who will bring an era of enlightenment and peace. Baha'is interpret Baha'u'llah's teachings as the realization of this prophecy, as his writings guide humanity towards ethical living, compassion, and social justice. Similarly, in Islam, both Sunni and Shia traditions anticipate the coming of the Mahdi and the return of Jesus as a sign of the final judgment and the establishment of a new order. Baha'is believe that these figures were symbolic representations pointing to Baha'u'llah, who came to establish a new world order based on justice, unity, and the recognition of humanity's oneness. In Zoroastrianism, the coming of Shah Bahram is foretold as a time when good will prevail over evil, and truth will be established universally. Baha'is view Baha'u'llah's mission as the fulfillment of this expectation, as he came with a message intended to bring about a lasting peace among all people. Baha'u'llah's teachings call for a range of social reforms that were remarkably progressive for his time. These include the equality of men and women, the elimination of extremes of wealth and poverty, universal education, and the establishment of a world government that would ensure peace and security for all nations. His vision for humanity was one where national boundaries and racial prejudices would dissolve in favor of a global society united by a shared commitment to justice and mutual assistance. In his writings, Baha'u'llah addressed leaders of state, urging them to forsake their conflicts and work towards establishing universal peace. This call for unity was a radical departure from the prevailing political ideologies of the 19th century, which were often rooted in nationalism, imperialism, and colonialism. The Baha'i Faith teaches that humanity is undergoing a collective maturation process, and just as individuals go through stages of growth, so too does society. According to Baha'i teachings, this period of rapid transformation and conflict is part of humanity's journey toward maturity. Baha'is believe that the challenges facing the world today, such as environmental degradation, social injustice, and political instability, are symptoms of this transitional phase. They see the Baha'i Faith as a guide to help humanity navigate this period and lay the foundations for a unified, peaceful world. One of the most distinctive aspects of the Baha'i Faith is its emphasis on the oneness of humanity and the belief that world peace is not only possible, but inevitable. Baha'u'llah proclaimed that the earth is but one country and mankind its citizens. This statement encapsulates the Baha'i vision of a world where national and racial differences are secondary to our shared human identity. Baha'is are encouraged to view humanity as a single family and to work towards eliminating barriers that divide people from one another. This vision of unity is seen as essential for addressing the complex challenges of the modern world, from economic inequality to climate change. The Baha'i Faith offers a framework for achieving unity and peace through individual transformation and social action. Baha'is believe that spiritual principles such as justice, compassion, and humility must be applied to social issues if humanity is to progress. They view service to others as an essential part of their faith and believe that working to improve society is a form of worship. This emphasis on action is reflected in Baha'i communities around the world, which engage in educational programs, community building, and efforts to promote social and economic development. Baha'is do not proselytize, but instead seek to demonstrate their beliefs through acts of service and a commitment to justice. Today, the Baha'i Faith has grown into a global community with members in virtually every country. The Baha'i administrative structure, which operates without clergy, is organized into local, national, and international governing bodies that oversee the affairs of the community and facilitate collective decision-making. The Baha'i International Community, headquartered in Haifa, Israel, works to promote the principles of the faith at the United Nations and in other international forums, advocating for human rights, gender equality, and sustainable development. This global presence reflects the Baha'i commitment to fostering a world community based on mutual respect, cooperation, and justice. The message of the Baha'i Faith is particularly relevant in today's world, where issues of social fragmentation, environmental crisis, and political polarization are more pressing than ever. The teachings of Baha'u'llah offer a vision of unity that transcends political and cultural divides, emphasizing that humanity's survival depends on our ability to work together for the common good. The Baha'i writings suggest that peace will not come through political agreements or economic policies alone, but through a fundamental change in how people view one another. This spiritual approach to peace is what makes the Baha'i Faith unique among world religions, as it combines personal transformation with collective action. The Baha'i Faith presents a compelling vision for a peaceful and unified world. Its teachings address both the individual and societal levels, calling for a transformation in attitudes and actions that could lead to a more just and equitable global society. By promoting the oneness of humanity, the equality of all people, and the importance of service, the Baha'i Faith provides a roadmap for addressing the most pressing challenges of our time. While the world may not yet be ready to fully embrace Baha'u'llah's vision, the principles of the Baha'i Faith offer a valuable framework for moving forward. As history shows, changes in thought and belief can reshape civilizations, and the Baha'i Faith's message of unity and peace may hold the key to a brighter future for all humanity.